allows to integrate CAD with Odoo. The presentation, I will outline a few PLM needs, then I will show what are the LibrePLM functionalities. To better understand how it works, I will show you 4 videos about the basic of LibrePLM. I will make an overview about what are the key points of LibrePLM, and then we will have a conclusion. About PLM, we can speak for days, but there are a few key points that today are really important. The first is CAD integration. Now, any PLM has to be integrated with the CAD. Another key point is when you create your bill of material, it has been done automatically directly from the CAD without the need to a manual intervention from a user. Both product and document data has to be managed. The product is the collection of all information to individuate in a unique way what is the things that you have to buy or to produce, while the documents are the part, the layout, the graphic representation of your product. And about the document, you have 2 elements that has to be fitted at the same time. So the first is that anybody in the company has to access any document at the same time. But it has never to happen that 2 different users access in writing to the same document at the same time. Now, about PLM functionalities. Currently, it is integrated in a few CADs, SolidWorks, Solid Edge, Inventor, AutoCAD, NX, Think Design, so on. And what does mean integrated? That you insert your data while are you working inside your CAD system. Few comments. We have said that we have product and documents data. So you have the command edit parts and assign document name. Edit parts allows you to insert as input your product data when you are working with a model. The document data of the model are automatically created depending on your product. While assign document name is used when you give document data to your layout. The upload is the command that takes everything, product data, document data, file itself, and upload everything to Odoo. Clone is the command that is used when you want to reuse an existing document inside Odoo, assigning to another product, because with small changes you can define the new product. About the way in which you can have everybody accessing all documents and avoid overwriting the files, there is the vault management check-in and check-out system. All files are by default in check-in, so everybody can upload, can see in a read-only way, while one single user at a time can put the files in check-out to edit and update it. About workflow management, you have to manage the life of a product. The basic workflow is composed by 3 status. The draft means that the designer is working on it, is updating. Confirmed means that the designer has finished his job and is waited for supervisor approval, and the released means that the job is done and you have to pass all information to the manufacturing. About a few key points. When you make the upload, if you are uploading an assembly, are saved all product, single product information, or single document information, but also the relation between documents and products. Relation between documents are needed because when you reload the file, you have to take all the correct assemblies. And the relation between the product means engineering bill of material. The engineering bill of material is created and updated only directly by the CAD. It is an exact representation of your CAD situation. while you have the normal BOM that is used from Odoo to start manufacturing and all other operations in which are needed a bill of material. And you simply move from automatic to normal with the command. When you press a command, the normal bill of material is created from the engineering bill of material. In the normal BOM, you can also edit, adding other information that usually are not included inside the CAD. For example, a manual that explains the product. Okay. Now, I will show you 4 videos. The first is I start from a part in the CAD, I edit a model, I assign doc name to a layout, and then I upload. Okay. You can add information also when you start from scratch. In this case, we start from an existing part and its layout. In this case, is working. Wait a moment, because sorry, I don't know why it is not starting, but I will start directly from the file itself. Okay. Sorry, why I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing now. Okay, we can see directly on. Sorry, I will start. Okay, in this case, I start from a part and start the edit command. In this case, you can insert the product name. We get from rules that the administrator can create directly in Odoo to have an easy way to get correct number, but you can write yourself if you want the product name. In this case, the document name of the model has been created in automatic way. If you want, you can have the possibility to insert manually. You have also a command edit documents that is able to edit the documents data. Okay. In this case, we are on the layout. We link it to the current file, because when you create edit parts, automatically is renamed also the file name. In this case, we are assigning document name to the layout, and also the name of the file is changed. With the upload, everything is saved to Odoo. When you upload the layout, is also uploaded the PDF representation of your layout. So you have not only the original file, but you have also the PDF. Sorry, now I will continue from here, and I will get the release. Okay, after you have saved and you have completed your job, you have to change the status of on Odoo, because you have to say, okay, this job is finished. So we are moving inside Odoo to check the status, and you can see that the documents are in checkout, because there is a column checkout. When you see the name of the user, it means that it is in checkout. So we have to put it into check-in. There are two commands, check-in and check-in recursive. That it means that starting from the current document, all the children documents are automatically put in check-in. Means from the layout you put the model. If the model is an assembly, also to all the assembly children. Okay, now you can confirm the product, and then we will release. Usually the confirm button is available for the user, because the user says, I have finished my job, please check, review if it is okay. While released is available for a supervisor, because it says, okay, now it is time to produce it. Okay. Sorry. So in the life cycle, suppose you have to edit to change your part. You start to open the existing part, the released one, with the component open, apply your filter, select your layout. Then you, with open related documents, open automatically the related model. And now you have two commands that we use. Use new revision on the model, because we make the new revision both of the product and of the document in the 3D. And you move from revision 0 status released in revision 1 status draft. The same change will be applied also in the layout. Now we are, before the upload, we are making a change to the model only to show also in the layout that something is, has been changed. And in the layout we will use new document revision. Because only the data document will be changed. We have also another command, minor revision, that is used sometimes because you have users that sometimes have to apply changes only to the layout. So while the main revision are 0, 1, 2, 3, the layout can have also a revision values A, B, C, D. Sometimes you have forgot a dimension, something that is only related to the, your layout. And in this case, you can see that you have the old revision there is under modify. Under modify means that it is still the official version, but you have to be careful because somebody is changing it. And while the revision 1 is in draft mode. If you complete the process and put in released also the revision 1, the revision 0 move to obsolete, because it means that it is no more valid, because there is only one released elements at a time. Last video is about engineering bill of material comparison. In this case, we start from an already saved engineering bill of material, in which we can see also the engineering structure. And after we will apply few changes to this bill of material to compare the difference. Okay, in this case is the structure. Again, we open with the component open the existing assembly, and the first thing is to make a clone to the top assembly. When you make the clone, it means that you have exactly the two copies of the same bill of material. Okay. And okay, in this case, again, we are choosing another product number. Now, the new bill of material has been, if I upload now, I have the same bill of material before. Now I move to edit a part to make it current and to clone it. So I will, with the clone, I will create a new part, and the previous one will be no more existing inside the assembly. The clone dialog is exactly the same of edit parts, because it's only different the moment. Edit parts start from scratch, while clone start from an existing document. Again, to make another change, I will delete a part, so I will change the number of part present inside the assembly. After that, I will provide the upload and the compare command. In the compare command, you will see on the left in green color what existed previously. In red color on the right what is being added, and in gray color in both columns what existed before and now, but something has been changed. In this case, the quantity. Okay. Okay. This is what is the result from the difference. Now I will move back to the presentation. Okay. There is. Okay. Okay. So, what is the goal? Okay. The user has to insert the information about a product only once and directly when he's working on the CAD, so he has not to take care of what is after his job. And it means also that it comes faster because when he makes the upload, all of the information are collected and moved to Odoo. And at the same time, because any operation, included when you delete inside Odoo something, document and so on, is recorded. So you know any times who have made an operation, what has done, and so on. So you are able to have complete control of your product and document data. I have tried to go fast because I didn't know if I was able to have enough time. If you want to see how it works in a deeper way, you can contact us at info@texpert.eu, and if you want to test it, you can download it. As I have said, currently is SolidWorks, Solid Edge, Inventor, AutoCAD, CATIA, NX, and Think Design, the currently integrated CAD. If you have any questions, I am...
Hi, sorry, I came in late, but do you guys support SolidWorks?
Yes.
With Odoo?
Yes, it means that SolidWorks is one CAD integrated.
Are you planning on adding other sources in the future?
Yes, now we are following the request. Okay, for the moment it seems that they are enough. We are not sure what integrate now. If somebody has a specific question, we can discuss about the timing. Okay.
Do you have documentation on how to install it in the design software as well as in Odoo?
Yes, the part in Odoo is exactly a module, so you install as a module, while the client is a .exe that you install in 1 minute. Okay, you run it. You have only to choose your CAD integration. Note that you can use the same Odoo with different CAD. For example, because obviously when you open the document, you have to open it with the correct CAD. If you save with SolidWorks, you have to open with SolidWorks. But you can work with all of this CAD inside the same Odoo at the same time. Okay.
So is it production ready? Can we use it in production now?
Yes, you can download if you want. If you find anything, so if you have an issue, you can contact or you can download directly.
Does LibrePLM supports all the functionality that solid PDM does? PDM is different, but
FrePPLe is the concept to manage the documents, to manage the life cycle. So it is not the only PDM of the market. The basic goal of LibrePLM is to provide out of the box the 95% functionalities that are used from 99% of users immediately, and then reverse inside Odoo all information, because after that you can manufacture, the product is already inside, so you can make an order of the product, and when is accepted, you start automatically to the inventory to wait for the raw material and to the manufacturing, because we have to production order. So everything starts from normal BOM. The normal BOM is automatically created from the engineering bill of material. The engineering bill of material is created automatically from the client when you save it.
Which Odoo version does it works on?
We have not tested with the 13, but you can use also 12, yes. We have also a customer with all 8 version, but okay.
What happens with the CAD data? Is it just stored locally, or is it uploaded to?
No, when you make an upload, all the files are put inside a repository that usually is on the machine where you have Odoo. Okay, usually with other customer you use Debian. Okay, but when you work on it, the user work on it as a local vault, okay, in which it downloads the files or saves the new one, and so the official copy is the copy in the Odoo repository, while you have a copy on a local copy. If you have a copy in checkout and you forget to make an upload, remember that until you don't make the upload, you have only on your PC. So something happens on your PC, you lose it, but because the official one is on repository, and users can't access directly the repository. Other questions?
Final one. I have a client who works in the fabrication business. They receive orders, each and every order is different than the other, and they need to manage the bill of material, different bill of material for each cell order. So I know it's a bit, let's say, different than the LibrePLM, but I think using it, because they do design everything in the AutoCAD, and they need to upload the parts and the raw materials needed to accomplish this job, this order. So I think it's good, but can we add something extra to link it into with a specific sale order and specific manufacturing order? Like, can we add extra?
When you have your manufacturer, when you have information from the product to the bill of material inside Odoo, it is everything linked. When you create an order, you create an order about a product, and automatically when the sales order is accepted, it is created the manufacturing order using the
new bill of material.
Yes. The only thing is if in your case, maybe you don't know, is because we have customers that because manage constantly elements that can be the same, okay, from a CAD point of view, but with different bill of material, they have asked us to create a way to assign product data starting from the file name in a massive way, okay, with some rules. Okay, this is not integrated inside the official version. The official version, you have to give to each single part its product data, and automatically create document data, and because the engineer bill of material is automatically created when you make the upload. I think I have to stop, okay? If you have any other question, I will be outside.
Thank you so much.
Okay.